Girl, I forgot that I forgot this thing even come on at midnight if you got the Stars app. So I wasn't even ready. I was over there in Avatar Nation yesterday, hanging out, being messy, and forgot my show was coming on. So I had to stay up a little bit extra so I can go and get the review out because I know when I pass out, I would a lot of be letting it be at half today. So here we are for the season finale review of P Valley on Star Season 1, Episode 8. It's Murder Night, honey. And we start off with Montavious back down in that doggone paradise room. Child, we learn Haley done ripped this man off for $250,000. Uh-huh. And she lying telling him it's in a bank, but he like, and how you able to put $250,000 in the bank and they don't say anything about it? She said, I watched it with my stripper money. And we learn a little bit about Haley, aka Autumn. We learned that she was actually an executive, and that's why she's so smart with being able to transact these little do these little transactions down to the telex place, right? Now he want his money, and somebody had came to the door saying that they needed their room. She went to try to go open the door, but he grabbed her back quick and told her that uh-uh, you're not gonna go to that door. She warns that there are cameras everywhere and they'll see if any harm comes to her. So he told her, well then, we in the paradise room, get to shaking. Okay? Yeah, told her to get to shaking, baby. So she got a fake dance for this crazy man as Clifford is hyping up the crowd for Lil Murder to come out him in Mississippi and do their thing, right? So this is what he was looking like. I said, well, all right then, Murder. Child, Murder started out, he got on the stage and he started to feel a little of that stage fright again. But when he calmed himself and just listened, he could hear the people in the crowd actually singing the words of his song, which hyped him up and he eased his mind and he got into his performance. Now, the music exec from the company arrives, right? He went voted. Shout out to Melrose, my love thing, for putting me up on what his name was. I could not remember that dude's name. It's Wody, okay? Well, he meets up with him and he's assuring him that Lil Murder is all that and then some. So they're watching this performance, right? And you can see that this exec, who I knew I was not gonna like him at all. See, I knew that it was something about him wasn't gonna resonate with my spirit. This is the music executive and Wody. Okay. So he was telling him, hyping him up about who Lil Murder was, but you could tell his eyes was strictly on Mississippi. And as his eye was all over Mississippi, their baby daddy, white baby daddy that beats on her, he didn't seem too pleased that she was getting all that attention or all that money. That's how he was feeling. Now we got Big L and Diamond outside, laying the rules down to the people who are coming to the Pank on his final night to patronize. Also, they gathering signatures to go on the petition to stop the casino for coming to Chapalisa, right? Child Diamond ain't letting nobody slide with weapons, baby. Every weapon they have on them is being confiscated in the box before they can get into the paint. Now, Lil Murder is still on the stage. He got so hyped at one point he threw his little mink coat off, child, and I assume that Uncle Clifford bought that because Uncle Clifford quickly ran out there to grab that damn coat from one of them women that had caught it out there, right? Well, he up there doing this song, I think one of these songs was about Mississippi, or at least I don't know if it was the girl or the state, but child, he was doing it, right? And she was up there doing her thing, and the executive was really really into it. And afterwards, he wants to go talk turkey with the man, right? So, because he talking about he said he wanted to manage both of them. That's what he was saying. You could tell that child that took me back to my club days because they was having a good old time. I saw the paint going out with a bang. Anyway, Mercedes is in that room talking to this fellow here. That is Coach. Okay. And she doing her dance for him, but she basically ends up asking him to give her $10,000 to invest the money along with what she'd have made with Autumn and get her a gym. You know, she wanted her business. Her mama kind of beat her out on getting that place she was looking at. So she just basically was trying to get her money back up, right? So she knows she can't go to Clifford for it because he in a bind. Where's she gonna get the money that her mama done played her out of? She asking this man, and he willing to do it if he can have ownership of her gym. But she don't want it that way. He said, "Well, if you don't want to do it that way, we can go back to plan number one." He wants her to move to Memphis and let him put her up in a condo, give her VIP tickets to his games, and basically be his paid side chick. She said, "What your wife gonna have to say about that?" He said, she already know." Child, I said, "Oh." So the music executive is now meeting with Little Murda, Wody, in Mississippi, right? And her abusive baby daddy Derek ain't feeling it. She and there talking to him, and he is basically coming up talking about, "Keyshawn, can I have a conversation with you?" Right? But she ain't got time to be listening to that because the man talking about doing her and taking care of her career as well as a career for uh Lil Murda, right? So she dismissed baby daddy and he ain't feeling it. Now Big L is in Clifford office watching the cameras and see Autumn barely moving for what seems a customer. Clifford come in excited about the money being made, look up at the camera and see Autumn done went, topless, which is against the new rules, because they got to do things right. They can't have the titties out while drinks is being served, so she can't be like that, right? So he tell her, she tells Big L to handle that, okay? Have Diamond go handle it because Clifford said if she go in there, homegirl ain't gonna like what he got to say, so she ain't going. Okay. Now it still ain't dawned on them that something could be off with this girl, right? Now Diamond was manning the door when Big L told him to go to the Paradise Room where Autumn was. Now, the little chubby faced kid, remember the little chubby faced kid that was wearing the ankle bracelet for Mercedes homeboy Maine who was getting the IDs? Well, he come up to the club, child. He got one of them fake IDs that Maine didn't help him get. Diamond clearly knows that he's not of age to be in there, but seeing that it's the last night of the pink, he said he gonna let the boy go on get in. So go on experience the pink one time. Now, Big L get a call to meet um a load outside in the back. So I guess, they all breaking Uncle Clifford rules tonight because instead of him doing what he's supposed to do, which is watching them cameras and helping Diamond, he going out back to holler at Duffy. Okay? I said, child, Now the young dude that got into the club that knows that knows Mercedes and Maine, right? He finds Mercedes. She's in that room with Coach. And basically he told her that Maine has gotten locked up. Somebody he had wearing his bracelet went and robbed something called crystals and he locked back up. But he wanted to get that flyer to her because she would know what to do next. And what flyer? This flyer right here. Remember this flyer here that the sheriff had was looking at it last week. He was able to realize that Autumn is Haley. Yeah. So Maine got the word to her to let her know, cause he said she'll know what to do. Now, Coach is still in there wanting her to come back and let's celebrate their new agreement. She tell him, look, give me a couple of days to decide, right? And she hightailed it out of there to go to Uncle Clifford office, which is locked, looking for Big L, Diamond, Uncle Clifford, anybody, because she knows that it may be some trouble. Now, Big L out back, he done met up with Duffy. And, basically, Duffy is trying to hide out from Gidget because that's his old lady. But you remember he told her he wasn't gonna be able to make it there for the last night of the paint because he was on the road. Well, he there, but he got a truck filled with what looks like pills hid inside boxes labeled as non-perishable items. Back inside the pink, Rome explaining how he met Wody. Apparently, Wody family got a funeral home, and they met because he was actually helping to get his mother prepared for her burial or whatnot. Now, basically, Rome said that he feeling little murder in Mississippi, but he want authenticity. He don't need no fakesters or no wanksters on his roster. He also talked about getting Lil Murda a real production team to include what he called a real DJ because in his mind, DJ Never Scared ain't good enough. He also wanted to replace Wody as manager because he said that he could get him a 360 deal that Wody wouldn't be able to do. Then Clifford come in there and put his hand on Murda's shoulder and asked if they need anything. And little Murda kind of dismissed him like he wasn't, all in his damn sugar walls just a couple of hours ago. You just told this woman that you want to be out in the open with her, but you acting funny because this guy is clearly making you feel some kind of way, like you got to put on a persona around him, right? Clifford realized what it was and told Mississippi don't stay too long because one of your regular customers, meaning Derek, was looking for her. When Clifford leaves, Ron begins to disrespect the hell out of Clifford, talking about these FA ninjas trying to take over. And Mississippi was the one to basically tell him back up off her boss and threw a little rhyme at him. And he kind of liked it, talking about she got bars. She said in the defense of Uncle Clifford, she ain't really impressed with old boy. She didn't appreciate that. Now I'm sitting there the whole time looking at Lil Murda because you ain't said nothing. Now you talking about you gangster and you real about yours. You told Clifford you wanted to be out in the open. Ain't nothing good about a secret. Y'all wasn't gonna be there, but you talking about now you treating him different because this dude has given you the inclination that you need to be something that you don't have to be. Okay, I really didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I was unimpressed with Mr. Rome. He said he wanted to not only manage Lil Murda, but he want to manage Mississippi as well because they did their thing that night. Now, in the Paradise Room, let's go back to the Paradise Room, right? Montavious telling Haley, aka Autumn, that she should be able to twerk better. She warns him that somebody gonna be coming in there soon or knocking at the door. He said lies and said that he's trying not to do her like he did old boy, her friend, somebody by the name of Ade that helped her set up the accounts. Apparently he had found this man, held him off on the side of a building or a cliff until all the blood rushed to his head. But before he died, he gave up the one account that he had set up for Haley. aka Autumn. That's basically how Montavious found her. He admits that he turned on his southern charm, and the sheriff provided the sheriff with a picture of his wife, and that's when she told us they ain't married. He said, "Well, you could have been." She said, "The only person that you will ever be married to is your gang." And he said, "Once you become a Delta devoted, you that for life." Then a knock came at the door, and she said she'd get it, but he told her, "No, you won't." You know. He told the person on the other side that the room was occupied. But he told her since that person wasn't seeming to go because they were saying bottle girl or water girl or whatever the hell Mercedes was saying, he told her, hold on a minute. Told Autumn, don't you move from that spot right there. Okay? I said, baby. He go to the door. Mercedes has a bottle saying that it's complimentary with the room, along with another set of tits, and just basically barged her way in. Now Uncle Clifford goes to her office upset. First she losing a club, it's going up for auction. Then this little boy, the only little ray of sunshine that Uncle Clifford had at this point, is Little Murda, and pretty much Little Murda showed him his ass to kiss. Okay? So he upset about that. He very upset about that. Look up there and see Autumn and Mercedes both in that room on that camera and called for Diamond. Diamond said Big L was supposed to take care of it, and she said, well, he ain't, so get on it. Okay? At that point, Lil Murda comes to Clifford's office to talk. Basically, what Clifford told him was, and you wanted us to be in the open. You wanted everybody to know about us. But the minute I warm up some to the idea, you basically treated me like I was one of the rosters. It was a pleasure getting to know Lamarcus. But this little murder person, I don't like him that much. And basically opened the door for him to go away from her with that, because she was done. Rome still talking to Mississippi about all he can do for her. He claiming he can do so much for both Mississippi and Lil Murder, and kept referencing a 360 deal. Now, I was thinking to myself, I said a 360 deal. I thought a 360 deal wasn't the best deal for a rapper. At least that's what Remy Ma said on Sheets. Now, I don't know. Y'all can let me know below. Derek comes to and asks to speak to Mississippi because she's still in there talking to Rome and Woden. Rome said, I can take you away from worrisome customers like that. And Derek said, I'm not no motherfucking customer. Which made her snap at him and tell him, give me a minute. Okay? So she getting ready to go see what Derek wants. And he gave Mississippi his card and told her that he was ready to take her places. The minute she leave out the room, Wody asked if he was interested in her or Lil Murda. And that's when Rome said, well, Lil Murda can, people like Lil Murda come a dime a dozen, but Black Barbie, aka Mississippi, is what he really interested in. In fact, that's the only reason why he even came to the club to see the performance. He's into Mercedes. Mississippi, I'm sorry. Wody said, if you ain't here for my boy, then you can hit it. And I said, that's right. That's absolutely right. Cause I didn't like that. He told him that he can. Every wave ain't meant to be rode, and basically he walked away from him. And I had much respect for Bodie for that. Derek him Mississippi up when she came to see what he want, and told her to get her stuff and let's go, or she will regret it. Now he said he going to the bathroom, take him a piss, and by the time that he finished with his piss, she best be in the car or else. Now, the whole time she's saying that, Diamond across the room of the whole of the club, seeing everything unfold. But let's go back to the Paradise Room because Montavious is still, in there trying to make Mercedes basically leave. He lets out that, she tell him basically, look, if Haley want me to go, I'll go, letting him know she know what's up. She faked like she was gonna go get another bottle, but cause he poured all the liquor out on the floor to try to make a reason for her to leave. But when she grabbed the bottle, she busted and went to try to went to cut him, and he ended up overpowering her. And that's when Haley started saying the money is in the club. It's in the club. I'll get it. Okay. Now, he agreed that she got 5 minutes to go and get his money, or he's going to drown everybody in that club with Mercedes' blood, and his Delta brothers will come down and burn the club to the ground. He warned that don't think for a second that I don't have somebody out there watching. Now, she run to the dressing room, get dressed. She looked for a gun, but she ain't find it. But what she did find, she had that money down there, and then we see her run to her car. Montavious is telling Mercedes that she ain't gonna come back. He said he took her and her child into his home and raised the kid, and she shot him and ran off with his money. The way he was talking, it was clear that even if she gave him all that money, he still wasn't gonna be satisfied. And Mercedes called him out on it. He said, you're not even here for that money. You you want to control her. Now, at this point, we see Autumn in the car, and I'm getting pissed as hell because I say I know damn well this girl didn't put herself at risk to you, and you gonna run off and leave. Oh, child, I was mad. Okay, you just gonna let him kill Sadie? I was pissed. Back in the Paradise Room, it becomes clear to Mercedes that Montavious, like I said, is not there to get his money back. He likes torturing her. Now, back in the crowd, Lil Murda has taken the stage again for the last song. Clifford calls Big L, who is still not out back. He's still out back with Duffy, looking for him in the he lying to my he in the office, but he ain't in no damn office. Inside the bathroom where Derek went to piss, Diamond followed him in there and told the folks in there to exit, called Derek's name while he was taking his little piss, and asked why was he handling Keyshawn, aka Mississippi, like that. Derek said that it was none of his business, and Diamond said, anytime the girls are being roughed up, it's my business. Then Derek said Diamond didn't want no smoke, or one of them said something about smoke. And Derek called Diamond a gutter nigga. And Diamond commenced to whooping his ass, but it wasn't no complete ass whooping. He gave me a little touch of Benny at first because that boy was able to, they was getting into it, baby. That white boy wasn't taking no ass whooping. He was going to eventually get one, but he wasn't taking one at that moment, right? Meanwhile, Clifford looked at that surveillance and seen Montavious coming at Sadie's with that broken bottle. Child and went to calling for Diamond, but couldn't get Diamond on the horn. Looked down in that box of all them confiscated items that they had taken earlier in the night from people who wanted to come inside the pink, grabbed the gun and went to check on his bitch. He called her his bottom bitch, right? Still trying to get Diamond on the damn horn, telling him that they got he headed to the Paradise Room. They got a code red in Paradise Room, right? So Autumn actually did come back. She came back and gave the money to him and informed him that her daughter Autumn had died. Cause he was like, she's probably at your mom. She said, no, she died. She died. She drowned in the flood the night I shot you and was running from you. Now, as Diamond was fighting Derek, they end up falling from out the bathroom into the club area, which child that started everybody to run in every kind of different direction. There was a gunshot we heard that caught the attention of Montavious and Autumn, long enough for Mercedes to kick him in his jewels and Autumn to bust him upside his head. Child, it didn't seem like they was gonna get the upper hand, but what wind up happening is I think when he told her that that's what she deserved for trying to finesse him out his money, that did something to Mercedes, because in the end, Mercedes winds up shooting him. You don't know it until the very end, but she winded up shooting him because at this point, Diamond was fighting with Derek, and this the part that threw me. Now he is fighting Derek to stand up for Keyshawn, aka Mississippi. She done brought her ass in there and got the gun and put the gun on him and told him to get up off her baby daddy. I said, girl, you got battle women syndrome. She told him, get up off of him. When he got up off of him, he heard other gunshots toward the Paradise Room. So by the time he make it up there to the room, at that point, all we see is blood coming from up underneath the door of the Paradise Room. Mercedes had shot him, which leads us to the next day. They getting dressed. Everybody got all the hoes got their damn outfits on, baby. They is headed down there. I'm thinking they going to a real funeral. Cause you see they got grandmama all up here dressed up and everything too. Child, the funeral was the auction. They going down to the auction. We see them get to the auction. They sitting in the room and everything. And here comes the country pimp. Tyrell Ruffin, that raggedy, gold mouth ass, crooked mayor comes in. And he tries to give Miss Ernestine a little piece. And Ernestine gave him a strong fuck you. And they sat down as the auctioning began. Also, before we get to the auction, we saw Andre and his wife checking out of the hotel. Now you know that damn the person, the clerk at the door at the hotel, then seen little Andre kind of act up, and Brittany Brandy or whatever her damn name wasn't the only woman that had visited his room. So she decides she want to go to the auction too. Long as they make their flight at 3 to get to Hotlanta. So we at the auction. He has been told that he can um bid up to $200,000, right? So the auction begins. Nobody's voting but him. Next thing you know, we hear a bid of $150,000. Look over to the right, and it's Miss Autumn, baby, in all white, looking lovely over there bidding on the paint. At this point, Mayor is telling Andre, bid. Andre tells him, I am, but I can only have 200,000 that I'm allowed to do. So Autumn hits him with a strong 200,000. Okay, she said 200,000. At that point, he's on the phone supposedly calling Bill over there at Promised Land to see if he can go up on the bid. Mel so anxious to get this deal done, he tells the auctioneer 215. He's like, I wasn't allowed to do that much. He's supposedly on that phone. When Bill answered that phone and he looked over there and seen Autumn and she showed her face, he saw that black eye in her face. I think he felt something because he never even responded. The man, hello, hello, he hung the phone up, which then allowed Autumn to say 250,000, and nobody could overrule that. Old Mel got so touched in his spirit, he jumps up there and say, nope, if she ain't got the cash on hand, then she can't be it. She walked up there with that duffel bag, baby. Oh, baby, she took me back to the Lil Wayne days. Little duffel bag girl. She dropped that money down in that duffel bag, baby, on the ground, and Mel couldn't say nothing. He is pissed off. He wanted Andre to do something, but Andre couldn't do anything. At this point, Mel is mad. And basically, Brittany or Brandy, whatever his wife name, she was over it. She ready to get out that heat time. So Mel could not get the paint, meaning that Promised Land Equities was not going to be able to put no casino on the land that is currently the paint because the paint been saved by Autumn, aka Haley. So that takes us to a scene that was kind of sad. Now y'all know Mercedes wanted that building you see right there, but her mama or she snaked her. She took her for her money and bought the building. She's also feeling heavy in her spirit because she's the one that shot Montavious. She's sitting there crying. She asking her mama, as you can see, sitting there, do God forgive? But her mama said, yep, but go on, talk to the God you serve since I'm dead to you. Her words came back to haunt her. In the moment she needed her mama the most, her mama really threw what she said back in her face and left her hanging. So we go back over to the paint, right? And when we go over to the paint, we see um Uncle Clifford in there cleaning up the paint, right? And Grandmama is over at the bar making her a drink, talking to Autumn, who has told her she no longer drinks. She said, "What kind of hold on drink, girl? That grandmama is something else." Mercedes come in there, she all up in her feelings. But at the end of the day, the club is saved, and she may not can do her final dance right now, but her time gonna come and we probably gonna get a chance to see it because this show, to my understanding, has been green lighted for a second season, and it ended just right. That way, we find out what happens because see, Autumn told Uncle Clifford that they are partners. He helped her out. Now he's got to help. He's got to help her out. And I think that's a good idea because she got a lot of business savvy and he got a vision. And together that's unstoppable. I thoroughly enjoy reviewing this show. I thank each and every one of my love things who pushed me. Y'all was begging and I was ignoring for as long as I could. And then I had a conversation with one of my favorites down here on the YT, and he told me to, I think you should because the dialect you'll easily pick up on it and you can bring a little of your sauce to it. So go forth and do it. And so I was like, okay, let me go on and try to do this. And I know that I had to miss one episode. I went back and looked. I did miss an episode. I missed one episode. But for the most part, I got everything out. This was a wonderful show. It gave me everything I needed. And may not reviewed all 7 episodes. I actually reviewed 7 and didn't do 1 week. But I tell you this, it's very rare that you find a show that keeps you entertained week after week. There were no filler episodes in this season, and I was here for it. And they left a lot of storylines open that they can develop in the next season. And I look forward to doing it. So I thank you, love things. You guys called this one right. I will be listening to y'all in the future. But I had a blast with this show. It's been a minute since I truly enjoyed a show the way I enjoyed this P Valley. This was excellent. I enjoy it every day. Every week I look forward to it. So I hope you guys have been entertained by the reviews that I was able to bring forth. If there's anything I left out in this finale review that you feel is important or you want to discuss it, the conversation can continue down in the panic section when I wake up. Put it down there. I'll answer it, okay? And thank you for those of you who are helping me with the characters, because girl, some of these characters were throwing me off. But good job, stars. Good job, P Valley. I look forward to being here to review season 2. That's it. That's all. Remember, in closing, as always, you do not have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. I appreciate y'all. I'm tired. It's 6 a.m. my time, and I'm going to bed. Let me give you the rest of the closing. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. And The depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on these YT streets. Comment down below in the panel. Let me know what you thought about the episodes. Did you enjoy the reviews? What do you look forward to? Just sound off in the comments, and I will be down there today to respond back to you guys. I'm getting back in the swing of answering my comments since they not so much that I can't handle now. So let me know down below if you have not subscribed to this channel. I don't know what you're waiting on, and I don't know what you've been doing. Girl, go ahead on and make your next move your best move. Subscribe to this channel. And while you subscribing to this one, I have a backup channel by the name of Lady Nyca Live. The link is always in the description box below the title. Subscribe to both of my channels. Tap your notification bell button and set that thing to all so that each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from either channel, you guys will be notified and you can come over and join in the conversation. Have a wonderful remainder to your Sunday, a great start to your week, and I will see you guys throughout the week. Peace.